Hey everyone, this is Ryan B, and welcome to Practical Forex Trading. This is your Euro Yen weekly analysis. So European Euro and Japanese Yen. This is the week of January 12th, 2020. If you want to stay up to date with all of our Euro Yen weekly analysis videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking that red subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner. As we got here is a daily chart with a long sloping downtrend. If we look back, this goes back a number of months, back to early 2018, so a couple of years actually, pardon me, and we see price now just traveling above this 200-day moving average and above the fast, the 20-day moving average. So short term, the bulls like last week have been kind of in charge, but we see they're about to come up against this weekly R1 at 122.33. And ultimately, it looks like price is stuck in this descending price wedge, right? And getting caught up in there. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at what the 4 hours is going to look like. Okay, let me reset this chart. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so if we go ahead and draw our lines again, let's zoom out and see where we were. As you can see, this downtrend goes for a long time, couple of years. Price pushing above it every once in a while, but ultimately, it's a descending bearish triangle wedge, where actually price is moving below the bottom of this triangle that just fell out of. So let's look at it that way. Now let's go ahead and zoom in for a 4 hour, and we see that price is traveling right below this resistance at 122.18. Let's go ahead and ditch this volume. And I'm just curious where my 4 hour 200 period moving average is. So if I were to look and just make this my long, let's see how that looks. Okay, we see that price is moving above that fast, which means we could see it price kind of creep up to this shelf a little bit more this week. But we think about moving averages and what's going to happen next, then we want to go with the fast. That's our 20. So what's our 20 look like? Change our inputs from 9 to 20. Okay, looks like its price is moving above, so that in the short term is bullish. Let's look at our 50. It's our median. Let's put that back on there. Okay, and we see all these moving averages are consolidating. They're certainly kind of like goes sideways, and that's what happened when price starts to range. And we see price has been ranging since early December. However, each time it gets to this 122 shelf, we see price get pushed back down. And now what we see is we've got a lower high going on. This recent high on Friday wasn't able to get quite as high as the last couple. So we could see some moves down here in the future. Now let's look at this short-term trend. This has been going since fall. And this has held pretty well. We see the other day price tested it and was quickly shot back up. And what we've got happening in this pair, as well as a bunch of other pairs, we've got a price wedge happening. So we saw this on Euro dollar. We saw this, I think, on the Australian dollar versus the US dollar. And here we go. So we've got price, this 4-month trend. It could eventually break above 122, a sustained break, and then a sustained hold above 122.50 would be bullish. But when we think about trends, really the long trend, the prevailing trend, the one that's been going on the longest, has more clout and will eventually break the smaller trend. And so that's what we see here, is that prices of these two are colliding, making a price wedge. So now if you're bullish or bearish, you might want to wait for a pullback to this 122 before you sell again, putting your stops right above the last high at 122.50. If you're bullish, you're going to want to wait for price to come back down to the bottom of this triangle before you buy back in. So that's what that price wedge looks like. And those can be real dangerous, so be careful if you're trading in a price wedge, because it's a great way to lose some pips. Here's our horizontal range. We see price, kind of rode above and below it, dropped below it, came back above. Price doesn't stay too long here, so we should see a quick retreat. Price is going to move one way or the other, either up and out or down. So Brexit is happening at the end of this month. That may be our breakout trigger, where we see prices go through the ceiling or they come back down. But it looks like for this week we could see some range trading between the 122.18, 120.60 mark for the euro yen. Let's go to our hourly. Here's what the hourly looks like. So we see that range pretty well defined here. Right now, if we see, let's go ahead and zoom in this hourly. What's happening here? We see that price is just about to, if this price falls below the hourly moving average, we can see our next decline. We see back in the hourly that happened just earlier this month, and price went from 122 down to about 120.15. We see it happened here. Price was at 120, 128, fell all the way down to 120, tested the bottom of this range again. So if price keeps falling below this moving average, we could see another test of this floor. But we really want to see is a break, right? We want a clear break of that. We want to see prices move below this last low, because that's when our downtrend really resumes, and that's where your big trade lies at. Okay, so then what you can always do too, if you want to get even smaller, you can just keep drawing these parallel trend lines to help you forecast how price is going to move and where it's going to turn around. It looks to be at one of those points now, and then you can always go in, take that, and that's how it translates into 15. So looks like mixed over the next month, but currently overall big picture I am bearish on euro yen. All right, have a great week trading. Good luck.